Good day, good day, good day. I hope everyone is doing well. I am heading to worship. Ooh, let me get my keys, Lord. My keys falling all down. But I'm heading to worship, and I hope you all are having a great day. And we'll talk about it after the 30. What's up, Jay New? What's up, Nurse Quell? What's up? What's going on? I hope you all are doing well. I'm going to get ready to go to Dutch Brothers Coffee and get me a Dutch Brothers. Um, and I think I'm gonna, you know what? I think I'm gonna take Boo to Bojangles because I don't think he's never been to Bojangles. So I think we're gonna go. I think we're gonna go to Bojangles because he's never been. So you can get that experience. I know what Bojangles is about. So anyway, I think that's what we're going to do. I hope y'all are having a great morning. Please excuse me for one moment. I'm getting ready to go into Dutch Brothers. And this is a new Dutch Brothers. So they just opened. Come on now. Come on, water sprinklers. Come on, grass. So I'm going to go and order some Dutch Brothers. But I got something to say, and it may not be to people's liking, but it's about these children and talking about children and all of this stuff. And so, um, yeah, we'll talk about it in a few minutes. Give me a minute, y'all. Give me a quick minute. I'm back, you all. I'm actually at Dutch Brothers, so I'm getting their Golden Eagle coffee skinny, and it's really good. So thank you so much. So that's what I'm doing right now. So okay, come on, they give you little stickers and stuff. Okay, I got it. Anyway, hold because they got this music playing. I don't want to get no strike over here because they jamming here. So anyway, yeah. So hold on for a quick minute. Okay, you all, I am back. So I got my little golden eagle from Dutch Brothers Coffee, and then, like I said, I'm gonna take Boo to Bojangles. I, they're making a big squawk about Bojangles. I didn't even know the branch and the chain was still in existence. So yeah. So we're gonna go. But hey, how you doing, Queen Lee Badu? Now look, you all. Let me say this, and what people don't understand about the beef sector, and I'm tired of people crying and trying to make a stand and all of this stuff. In the beef sector, when you are really fighting with people, you are fighting with people. And people say crazy stuff. Now, I try not to say crazy stuff, but a couple of times it has happened. But people don't realize that, they're talking about, I ain't actually be talking about cheering. I don't play with my cheering. Well, stay off of YouTube, because in the beef sector, people are going to come for your kids. Anything that's going to make you upset, anything that's going to piss you off and trigger you, they're going to do that. They're going to try to hurt your feelings. That's the name of the game. If I can hurt your feelings, and if I can really get you where I need you to do and where I need you to be in your emotions, then I've won. Folk don't give a damn about your kids. My thing is, most of these people don't know your kids. But you come on the beef sector, y'all fight, and then somebody say something about your mama, somebody say something about your kids, and then y'all go off. And I'm like, these people don't care. These people don't even care about them. Y'all act like that there is some type of ethics with some of these people. Some of these people don't have no ethics. They don't care. So I don't understand why y'all up here getting y'all rusty cankles up here yelling and screaming at people, and then don't think they're going to say something to hurt you. You have to be crazy. And I'm not saying it is right, but it is. It is what it is. And people are going to do whatever they can do to hurt you. Period. I mean, right now, you got people putting out pictures of middle school, and I'm supposed to feel some kind of way about that? I don't. The fat pictures, I don't feel no ways tired, because that's who I was, and it doesn't bother me. So all I'm telling you all is that people are going to talk about kids. I don't know why y'all come up here thinking that folk ain't going to say nothing about your children, your mama, anything they can throw at, they going to do it. And y'all, that means y'all in y'all emotions. Ooh, that coffee is potent. That ain't no McDonald's coffee. Ooh, that coffee is no joke. They coming for everything. And people need to know that. And so now I will say this: weak roasters, weak gaggers, weak people who don't have no comedy, that's what they do. Because people who have talent can get you in other ways. It's these weak people who go for the juggler and all of that stuff. But I don't understand, again, why people think that folk are not going to not talk about their children and everything. Because if you say, don't talk about my children, don't talk about my children. When you talk about my children, it's down. Don't talk about my children. And that's the first thing they do, is talk about your children, because you just told them what really hurts you. You just told them that. And then secondly, nobody's children should be on YouTube in the first place. But I'm gonna move right on from that. I don't know why people think that just because they say it, then that people ain't gonna do nothing. I mean, you come on YouTube, people gonna fight. People gonna fight dirty. People done called me the Yag. They don't call me everything but a child of God. It does not bother me. I don't know these people. I probably don't want to get to know these people, and it's okay with me. It's okay with me. You call me whatever you want to. And it's gonna mess up my channel. Now, I will say this. I may cut up on somebody else's channel, but I'm about like, damn, I'm gonna cut up on mine. So I just wanted to throw that out there, because I don't know why people don't think folk ain't gonna talk about you. If they talk about dead lovers, if they talk about dead married people, if they talk about dead parents, why do you think you exempt and your children are so special? Because they're not, and I'm not trying to be funny, but this is the beef sector, and it's, child, they don't have no beef sector manual and no operations manual for the beef sector. People gonna come at you with what they got. Now, how you respond is your business. Now, how you respond is your business. I'll say that. But it just irks me that these people, and I had to listen, and I'm like, people in the beef sector don't care about your children. Hell, most of them don't even care about their own children. And then you think they're gonna be okay, and stuff they're gonna say nasty, vile stuff. That's what they do. It's unfortunate that some people have to go that route. It's unfortunate that people have to get real dirty and down in the dirt, but they do. And just because you are a content creator that goes above the fray, that doesn't mean that they are going to go above the fray. No, most of them go below the fray because that's where they are. So I just wanted to say that on this morning because, I'm listening to people get real touched in their spirit about folks talking about their children, but yet, you're in the beef sector. Maybe you need to go to the children's section. Now, I don't know. Uh, I don't know. Then somebody was talking about somebody's testimony. I'm like, well, go to the testimony sector. Girl, these people is going to tear your testimony up. You can't do anything in the B sector without scrutiny, and everybody knows that because, that's how people are. That's how people are. Now, I was looking at Uppity Negro, and I swore I saw two roaches, but it was broken fixtures. Now, I came back and corrected it and still had a good time. Some people ain't going to even do that. So, but it's above the fray. Some people are. It is what it is. So anyway, other than that, y'all, what's going on? I just had to say that this morning because people, my cheering, don't talk about my cheering. Ooh, when you mess with my cheering, that's when I go off. And that's what people want you to do, is to go off. And that's why they talk about your children, because they want you to go off. And y'all sit there and take that bait and go right on off. And folks sitting up there laughing. They done got you in your spirit. They done got you in your spirit. Don't even know your children. Don't talk about my mama. Don't talk about my mama. And next thing you know, they talking about your mama because you just said what not to talk about. Child, well, you tell the people not to talk about, that's what they're going to talk about. I don't know why y'all don't get that memo. Don't talk about my cousin. Don't talk about my cousin. They talk about your cousin. Okay? They'll talk about your disability. They'll talk about your gut. They'll talk about you losing weight, not losing weight. Baby, these people in the beef set, they're going to talk about everything. I don't know why that people think they get an exemption because they got children and they got a mama and they got a cousin and they got a disability. People, you in the beef sector. Now, everybody's not going to talk about your disability, but people are going to talk about it. I don't know why folks playing. Y'all better go somewhere. They coming for the dog, girl. Girl, they came for the dog. I'm like, my dog is happy and healthy, baby. And child, they still came for it. They don't care. They'll come for the fish. They'll come for the cat. Girl, we done had a lot of cat incidents, haven't we? Girl, we done had a lot of cat. We done got a cat that got a tent. We got a cat that got a bruise. Baby, it's a lot of cats. A lot of cat stuff. Cats don't fare well in this sector. Dogs do a little bit better. But baby, they coming for everything. What's up, California dreaming? I mean, California dreaming, that's what people do. Now, again, is it right? Not always, but does it happen? Yes. And nobody ain't gonna stop doing what they doing because you feeling some kind of way. That's your issue. That's your issue. And I'm not saying that it's right or wrong, but I'm just saying we know the YouTube streets for what it is. Child. Anyway, what else is happening, y'all? Did I miss anything? Because, like I said, after I came on about 4 or 5 times, I said, okay, I'm good. Let me say this too. There are some people that done lost their mojo. They used to be funny. They used to be entertaining. And now they chasing waterfalls because they didn't stay to the rivers and the streams that they used to. And they ain't funny no more. And I don't watch it. So y'all, you go back to your first love. Go back to your first love. Cause this what you doing right now ain't it. It ain't it. Go back to, as the pastor say, go back to your first love. Do it all over again because you ain't funny. And it's taking your stuff away. Ooh, Jesus. So I wanted to say that. Also, you all, I said, and I'll repeat this, and let me give y'all how I feel about YouTube. There is a wave, you ride the wave until it takes you to the beach. And when it's time for you to go, it's time for you to go. Sometimes people have a Simone Biles type moment where they get to twist this for a little bit and then they come back and dominate. Some people just come on in and just go on out. But when it's time for me to go, it's time for me to go. And the thing that's different with me is I got options and I don't need YouTube to make me. Hallelujah. Now I'm not talented like some people, because some people be making donuts and cakes and danishes and pastries and stuff. I don't have that talent, girl. I don't have them talents. I'm not a pastry assistant, but I do what I can. And all I will say is, have some options. I'm looking at some of these people and I'm like, is this what you really want for your life? Now, I know people want to roast and gag me. He can't keep a job, but I kept my lights on. My house ain't in foreclosure. Okay. I'm just going there. I'm seeing people who, I can understand if you need assistance because you done fell on hard times. COVID hit people really hard. But baby, I have a problem with government assistance. Let me tell you what I got a problem with government assistance is because you will never do any better than what you're doing with government assistance. And for able-bodied people who can work, for able-bodied people who can do their thing, it's a trap. It's a trap. Now, I know people had a lot to say about me. Oh, I don't believe you driving Uber, or I don't believe you doing Airbnb. But not one time did I have to go get food stamps. And I'm not beating people who have done that. But shoot, even doing Uber and the thing, I ain't even qualify for it. But those are temporary measures. And when you use temporary measures for things that are not temporary, I question. And one thing I will say is I worked my behind off to do what I needed to do. And so ain't nobody who really don't want to work and want to live off the government and think that being trapped financially is the thing to do has anything to say about me. I know that there are elderly people who really need it. I ain't talking about elderly people who just lazy and just don't want to work no more. I'm talking about people who really put into the system, people who really work the job and they need it. And I got that. But when you are pushing a grown person who is able-bodied, who can work, to do that, I'm like, that's the problem right there. That's the problem. And if people have learning challenges, then they need to address those learning challenges. But telling people to give up, live off the government, and be in a life of poverty, that don't make no sense to me. And I'm real with that. Now, everybody makes their own decisions, but I think that that limits your earning potential. And all it takes is one government shutdown. And I don't ever want a Congress to control how I'm going to get paid or not get paid. And I think sometimes we get trapped in that. Those are temporary means. And I'm real about that. That's temporary. I know people who lived in the projects where I'm from, but baby, they knew that that's temporary. They knew that they weren't going to be there forever. And I see most of my friends who lived in the projects get homes. Their parents just said, "Hey, I'm in a bad place right now, but trouble don't last always." And they got out of there because it was temporary. Nobody ever wanted to stay in the project forever. But some people got the mindset in this beef sector that you can stay in the project forever. And I'm just being real. And I'm not talking about people who are not able-bodied. There are some people who have disabilities that they will not be able to work, and they should get that. But when you are a able-bodied person who can work, yeah, it's sad. And then the thing is, they take pride in that. And I'm supposed to be insulted by people who pull them stunts. I think that's the biggest scam and the biggest fraud of all. But the sad part about it is the government is using you. You a statistic. So anyway, I say that because I don't want anybody to feel who had to be on public assistance that I'm coming for you, because I'm not. I'm coming for folks who are able-bodied, who can work a 9 to 5, but choose to be on fixed income because they don't want to work. I don't want ever have anybody dictate where I can live according to my voucher. So it's sad. It's sad. So yeah, it's sad. So I went there today, but yeah. So some people on these YouTube streets have options and choices. And I don't need to let people know all my options and choices, but I got options and choices. You know, it's really funny because they doxed where I worked, but I wouldn't have. So first of all, I wouldn't know chaplain. That was the funny thing. I wouldn't know chaplain, or you're not ordained. Y'all remember that? You're not a chaplain. You're not ordained. And then that was the real gag. Yes, I was, and was making good money doing it. Now, some ignoramus, it's funny that they can go on salary.com, but I was a contractual. I want y'all to catch that. I was a contractual chaplain. I was not a hospital chaplain. I was a contract. I worked at a hospital, but I was contractual, meaning that I didn't have ties to the hospital. I didn't get my money from the hospital. Hello, somebody. I didn't get my money from the hospital. I got my money from other sources. And as a contractual chaplain, I made much more than the PRNs and the staff chaplains. Because we all know, even in the medical profession, that contractual nurses are always going to make more money than PRN and staff nurses. So, but you can't tell ignorant people anything. You can't tell them anything. So, but I found it funny that, oh, you ain't ordained, you ain't a real this, you ain't a real that, but I'm working in that capacity. And then took joy out of, I guess, getting me eliminated from that department. And as you notice, I said from that department. So I think it's funny, but this is the type of people that we deal with. So I don't have to lie about what I do or what I have done or my ordinations and stuff. I don't have to lie about that at all, at all. So it just goes to show you that, you know, people ain't happy with themselves. But I got options, and I'm serious. I have options, and I thank God for having options. Now, let me tell y'all something that else is funny. I'm going to share a few things and then I'm going to leave it alone because this is how ignorant people are. And this is why I just shake my head. I can say it now. I can say it now, but this is what I'm going to say. So people were calling Ascension, Seton Ascension. And they were saying, you know, They were calling Seton Ascension. Let me tell you something. I worked for Seton Ascension as a resident, meaning that I was in school. I did all of that schooling while I was still on YouTube, and I was a student. So you can call them for all you want. You can call them people all you want. I have my units of clinical pastoral education, 4 units of clinical pastoral education. And you can only do that if you went to a regionally accredited seminary. Come on, Jesus. And you have a master's of divinity or a doctorate of ministry. So again, my degree may not be from Boston University or Princeton Theological Seminary, but it fit the bill to get that clinical pastoral education. So what y'all are really primarily doing is calling my school that I got my CPE from, which we just did our job training there. But people were even doing that. And while y'all up here laughing and gagging and going after people, child, I'm bettering myself to set myself up so I will have many options when I decide to retire. And again, you got to remember, with chaplaincy, you can either be contractual, which pays more. You can either be PRN, which is part-time, or you can be a staff chaplain. I don't want to be a staff chaplain. They don't get paid that much. PRNs get paid a little bit better than staff chaplains, and contractual chaplains get paid a whole lot more. They don't get insurance, but I didn't need insurance because I already had it. So I'm gonna leave that alone. But it's just really funny, and this is not a woe's me. You didn't hear me complain one time. You didn't hear me cry one time when people did that, because it goes to show you where people are. But let me tell you something, God always had my back. But it's really funny that the goalposts always move. You may not like me, but one thing you can't say about me is that, baby, when I say I have it, I have it. I don't have to lie about me being a flight attendant. I've done it. I've done it. Don't have to lie. Don't have to tell people that I was an interior designer, but yet we see no portfolio. Girl, bye. I was the best dope dealer in San Francisco, yet you living on Section 8. Child, bye. See these stories. See, the people who always claiming that somebody fraudulent, you need to listen to their story. And you need to see where they're coming from. Because if you were so successful drug dealer, you would have stashed some of that money so you would be living a little bit better. Okay? If you were such an interior designer, you would have a portfolio. You would at least took pictures of some of your work. You didn't even take pictures of your work. So that tells me right there, you ain't even a professional. I still have my uniform that I can wear from Delta Airlines. I can prove it. Can you? See, this is what I'm trying to say. You speak a lot, but you don't have the facts and you don't have the stuff to make your stuff pop. It's like, okay, you say it, but we're not seeing it. Okay, that's all I have to say, y'all. I'll be back on later on. Peace and love. Y'all take care.